Hello, and this week we're going to talk about Welder Certification. We're going to try to demystify the process of certification. Most of this is going to center around ABS D11 structural code. Other codes are usually really similar, but D11 is my home territory. It's what I'm really familiar with, so that's what we're going to talk about. So there's a lot of myths surrounding certification, and that's really what I want to do is try to answer questions people have and try to solve misconceptions people have. You're going to have questions that I'm not going to ask you today. Ask me in the lab. I can talk to you for hours about welder certification to the point you'll be running away from me. But come and find me in the lab. I'll talk to you about it. I'll answer your questions. So let's talk first about plate tests, which is what we're going to do in classes. With plate tests, there's a couple of key factors to them. One of them is position, and one of them is material thickness. So as far as position goes, with plate tests, the position you certify in, you qualify in, dictates the position you're certified to weld in. So we've got, remember all the G's, 1G, 2G, 3G, and 4G. So the way the ABS works, if you can pass this 3G vertical up with stick or flux core or whatever, you're qualified for the other two. So one 3G test will get you the 1 and the 2 and the 3. Okay? So to get all position certified, what they call all position certified, so you can weld 1, 2, 3, and 4G, you have to do the overhead. And the overhead will only get you overhead. It doesn't qualify you for any other positions, just overhead. So to get all of them, you need a 3G and a 4G to get all position. Pipe is a little different. I'll talk about pipe later. I'll finish plate test. So the other one is plate thickness. And in code books, when they talk about position or talk about thickness, they talk about T. You know, half T, 2T. T is thickness. So how this works is the thicker material that you qualify on in a plate test, the thicker material you're qualified to weld on in the real world. The two most common ones are 3/8 plate tests and 1-inch plate tests. So generally, with AWS codes, whatever thickness you certify on will get you down to half T to 2T. So on 3/8, half T is 3/16, and 2T is 3/4 inch. So a 3/8 plate test will certify you down to 3/16 or up to 3/4. So the 1 inch, this doesn't apply to 1 inch. Okay, this will take you down to 3/16. It's not half T; it's just 3/16, but it will take you up to unlimited thickness. And the reason for that is welding on 4-inch plate after the first inch isn't any harder than welding on 1-inch plate. It's actually easier because the thicker the plate is with your groove angle, the more fill you got, the wider it is, the easier it is to work. So they figure if you can weld a 1-inch plate test, you can weld anything. So to be all position, unlimited thickness, you would need to do both of these tests at 1-inch thickness. And that will get you all position, all thickness materials, okay? So let me erase all this wonderful stuff and we'll talk about pipe. And I use AWS pipe certifications just because, again, I'm much more familiar with them than API or ASME. But it's all pretty similar. So with pipe, we've got a lot more G's. One other thing, going back to plate test, one other thing is we always talk about groove weld tests. You can actually test on fillets as well. But fillets will only qualify you to weld fillets. They won't qualify you to weld grooves. Grooves will always qualify you to weld fillets of the same thickness, of the same position. So again, there's no reason to do fillet tests. If you can do a groove, and you'll get everything. So pipe tests, we don't have to worry about fillets or grooves because pipes are always grooves. Unless they're socket fittings, in that case, plate certifications work. Don't worry about that. So pipe, we have more G's. We have, if you remember from our pipe talk, 1G, 2G, 5G, 6G. So flat rolled, horizontal, no, vertical, horizontal, 45-degree angle. With pipe, 6G covers everything. If you do the 6G, you're certified for all the other Gs. If you don't want to do the 6G, you can do the 2 and the 5, and that will get you all position. So these two, all position. This one is all position. So most people just do the 6, so they can get everything. So when it comes to thickness, it's a little different than plate is as well. And pipe has one other thing, and that's diameter of pipe. That plays a role in qualification too. So with pipe, we'll talk about diameter first. 4-inch and under. Get you down to 3/4. Down to 3/4-inch pipe, and up to 4. It'll only qualify to 4. So over 4-inch, look back at my cheat sheet. It gets a little wonky as we start talking about wall thickness as well. So over 4 gets you, we're talking about T again, gets you 1/2, no, not T. What the heck, what did I write down here? Yeah, it's half minimum diameter, so it's not half T, it's half diameter. So that'll get you 2-inch, 2 unlimited diameter. So if you do over 4, it'll get you down to 2, but up to unlimited. You'll notice as you watch me fumble around with this stuff, pipe is not my forte. I'm a plate guy. But that's how it works. So to get down to 3/4 and unlimited, you're going to have to do 2 pipe tests. So thickness, and that's wall thickness of pipe. 1/8. So this pipe test right here, regardless of the thickness, will get you to 1/8 minimum. I believe it's 3/8 maximum. 3/4 maximum. Regardless of what thickness you test on. So if we're over 4, but our wall thickness is under 3/8, so under 3/8 wall, but over 4-inch pipe, it gets us, it does the same as this, 1/8 min, 3/4 max. And if we're over 3/8 and over 4, we do half thickness, that's terrible, and up to unlimited. So, probably running out of chalkboard. So pipe's a little more complicated because we're dealing with multiple variables and they have roles and everything. So boiling down, to get down to 3/4 and over 4, you're going to have to do 2 pipe tests, 2 different sizes. So you'll want to do thick diameter because that will get you the pretty much the most bang for your buck, but you're still probably going to end up running 2 of them. There is another test which is they call it a 6GR, which is 2 different material pipe thicknesses, and that's basically a circuit will take care of pretty much everything all at once. It's really difficult to pass. Let's see. Let me erase all this stuff. So the next thing we're going to talk about is, and this is kind of still on the pipe versus plate thing, and the other thing we're going to talk about is welding with a backer versus welding without a backer. So basically, what it boils down to, and this is pretty easy, if you qualify or certify with a backer, you're only certified to weld with a backer. If you qualify without a backer, open root, you're qualified to weld either with or without. So a pipe test, that 6G pipe test, that's open root, it will get you everything. It will get you, it'll also certify you for plate as well, I didn't mention that. The 6G pipe test will also certify you for all position plate and open or closed root. So it's really the best bang for the buck.